Once again, welcome back to We'll Name the Show Later. We now have part two of episode one of season two. Kick your feet up, relax, and enjoy the show.
This is very idealistic. It's very
Right.
idealistic, and
Sure.
it's in a vacuum.
Absolutely.
And where I'm going to challenge is another celebrity recently who has several children with a former fiance, baby mama Cam Newton, and his previous relationship or his baby mama. He's currently suing her for a Bentley that she's still driving. That's in his name. And he's of the opinion, or what he's sort of alleging, is that the Bentley was a gift, but the condition was you can drive it while we together.
Right. And did she accept those conditions?
And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing before we jump to that.
Sure.
The likelihood that those were the specific conditions that they were talking about with this car are slim to none.
Right.
This is something that you bring up in spite, because now you no longer, we bringing it full circle.
Sure.
You no longer have access to this
absolutely.
woman. So now you're trying to sue your baby's mother over a car that you've been letting her drive for the past. It's 2018 or something like that. So you've been letting her drive this car the past 5-6 years, all of these years. Now it's an issue.
Right.
When if she would have went out and said, you know what, I'm just gonna use my own little bit of money and I'm gonna give me a Corolla. You don't even worry about it. I got my own car. Baby, I don't want you driving that car. Don't worry about it. You got this.
Sure.
No, that's your car. That's your car. No, that's your car. As the years pass, that's your car. That's your car.
Sure.
They break up. There's still some dealings. They might still be there. There's still access. Now there's no access. Oh, I want my car back. Get my car.
Right. Yeah, that's
Is that not more realistic scenario than the hi, Cinderella, here is a Powerade contract, so you no longer have to work anymore, and you can put down,
I think they are both realistic, because there are instances where I don't have it at reference. I think they are both realistic, right? Because you would like to think that if you are dating a man of a certain stature and financial status, that he also has the resources to do that. But I'm with you. All we have is the evidence of what we have, right? And the Jonah Hill thing, all we have are the text messages. And like I said, everybody is doing is breaking down a transcript of text messages, and we don't know the context and conversation. Like we all know, like the three of us will have this conversation. It may go into text. We may show up again to pod, and our conversation is going to include our last conversation, our pod, and our text. But if I just show you the texts after we pod again, you may be like, well, what happened in between, right? And if somebody screenshots our text messages, they don't know. Well, in Cam's instance, we do have, that. And I think in that instance, there are instances on both sides. What I don't think is highlighted are the instances where people split or go their separate ways, and the partner is like, you got that for me while you had it. We were together. Enjoy your life. Right. We know much more about the Jonah Hills and coming for the cars, and that we know a lot more about those stories than the instances where celebrities break up and they're like, you keep the house, you keep the car, I'll keep paying for whatever. And so do I think that both are realistic? I do. I just think one is highlighted a lot more than the other.
I think human nature, pettiness, dictates that you're gonna want your stuff back.
Sure.
You know what? I proposed to you. We're no longer engaged. I want my ring back. What I mean, you a man is not gonna be like, I got you this 2-3 carat diamond ring, and you're like, oh girl, you keep it. It's fine. Right. No, run me back my ring. Like
absolutely.
that's months and potentially.
Should she not want to give it back though? Should she not be like, here it is?
It's a gift though. So
right.
Okay, knowing your profession, Sheri, Does that person have the legal right to keep it? 'Cause I thought that by law, if it's a gift, they are by law allowed to keep it.
If it's a gift, they're allowed to keep it.
What makes
The
it a gift?
engagement ring situation now that varies from state to state.
So that's what I'm saying. Because if I'm
There's
giving
different
you,
schools of there's a different school
right,
of law on the engagement ring.
right,
Now, what we'll have to talk about with the car is it's gonna depend on a lot of different circumstances.
sure.
Okay, whose name is on the registration? Y'all have been split up for a number of years. Who's paying the taxes? Who's paying gas, maintenance? Who's been doing the maintenance? Things like that. When you all reference who's on the insurance, when y'all reference the car, you know, okay, Cam, it's your car. How often, you know, did you drive it before you got it for old girl? Like there's a lot of different elements.
I would suspect that the car is in her name if he's having to sue for it.
No, if he's suing for it, it's probably in his name.
Really? Oh, she just physically has it. So instead of like going, yeah, I mean, that's better than him yanking it up out of her driveway and doing all of that, I would think. I mean, the idea of even going to get it,
let it go.
Yeah, that's the. I mean,
let it go.
Absolutely, I agree with that. I'm saying in this specific instance, the overall, of course, it would you should be well enough to say, all right, chalk it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, that's why with the Seth Rogen thing, because we have to go on the evidence that we have that, I hear you, you know, but being a surfer on the flip side, being a surfer is a very lucrative career. Like
absolutely. Yeah.
And then like, you know, being a surfer, there's not a whole lot of surfers that are out here wearing, you know, the full sweatsuit from foot to wrist, you know, every time, especially depending on the type of waves that she
absolutely
surfs,
yeah, the climate where they are. Yeah, absolutely. I get it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's weird to say, yeah, okay, well, you know, I know that you surf in a swimsuit, but that makes me uncomfortable. That's why I always go back to the request and the reasonableness of the request to change someone's behavior or to change my style. Like, if I like wearing weave, you met me wearing weave, what? Now you're like, it makes me uncomfortable. What? It's on my head. What are you talking about?
That thing itch, man. I'm telling you. Sometimes that thing itch, man. I'm telling you.
I put it up. What you mean? Like I can take it off at night.
Listen, sometimes it smell. Y'all don't realize it smell because y'all been wearing it a little too long. I'm just saying.
All right. See, you didn't have to do all of that.
I'm sorry.
Oh wow! Oh wow! He said, "I'm going to put it out on Front Street."
Listen. But no, I'm with you, right? Again, and it's just hard to know. There's what I don't think. Life is not fair, as they say. Fair is a thing with funnel cakes and rides. I would have liked, ma'am, you've moved on, right? Like this did not happen in real time. You moved on. Let it ride. You know what I mean? Unless there was some sort of legal case where you were taking this man to court for something, he put his hands on you. Like if he's wanting something back from you that he said was a gift, we had no idea that even happened. Y'all dated, y'all broke up, and you took something that had nothing to do with you. You took an opportunity to slander this man. And like I said before, to your point, Lola, if you still harping on that, you shouldn't have went and married another man. If you're not healed, right? And now you're bringing a whole lot of unnecessary stuff to your home, right? You're putting a lot of, because the internet is not a nice place. You got to think this man is being told, he's probably till this day being told how much better Jonah Hill is than him. Like, hey man, I really rock with Superbad. You wasn't in Superbad. Like,
said no one ever.
But here's what I'm telling you. Internet, listen to what I'm telling y'all.
I know that, but no. I hear your point on like her timing.
Sure.
And what was her motivation and attention seeking, things like that. I hear that.
Sure.
I do think that the analysis is separate. In that Seth Rogen mentality fucked up, weird. Like that's weird behavior.
First
But
off, you're going to keep getting that man's name wrong.
Yeah, they're gonna really cancel us if we keep calling him the wrong name, right? Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got it.
You didn't do nothing wrong. We're sorry.
Every time I say it, you're gonna have to like write. She means Jonah Hill. It's gonna pop up. Jonah Hill.
We're gonna put it in the caption. If you're a Seth Rogen fan, please don't come for us.
I'm sorry. Jonah Hill. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense.
They're gonna be on our head.
I'm sorry. Finish your thought because I'm like that's Seth Rogen.
Yeah. That it is the timing of it, all of that, absolutely super weird behavior, extra weird, odd as hell. At the same time, Jonah, weirdo, word, like that's the type of stuff, and that's the type of energy that I don't even necessarily want to give. I don't want to make it seem like making requests like that and calling them boundaries is okay, because it's not. A boundary for you, this stuff has to be reasonable. Is she not wearing thongs? It's a regular old white girl bikini. She's not out here built. It's not a whole bunch of cheeks everywhere. It's not big old titties everywhere. It's just a regular old bikini. Like, let's be reasonable. Okay, it's a boundary for me that you don't start doing porn. That's different. It's a boundary for me that you don't start doing cocaine. It's a boundary for me that you don't start going on a crime spree.
Right. Petty theft only.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right.
Petty theft only.
It's a little crack here and there.
It's a boundary, I don't really want you turning into the He-Man Woman Hater Club president on the internet.
Because to your point, because some might say if presenting yourself as accessible and being in a position where you were posing with men in a bikini, if that was a boundary for you, then you wouldn't have been attracted to her in the first place, right? So I get it. No, I like I said, I see both sides. I just don't. To me, and this is kind of back to the whole TikTok situation is the timing of it, right? There's a window for me to be talked about. Let me jump on out here and kind of drag a situation that nobody knew or was talking about, or maybe it was talked about previously, but it didn't really blow the way it blew on the heels of the Keke Palmer situation. But I get you, because some might say, like, if I'm not attracted, if I find women that present themselves as sexually promiscuous on the internet, if I don't like that behavior, I shouldn't find women that exhibit that behavior attractive.
Let bad bitches live.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them all. I wouldn't call them all bad, but I get what you're saying.
That's fair. Look, it's relative.
Listen, it's a lot of thinking they bads. That's not really bads, but
look, it's relative.
It is. I get what you're saying. You landed that.
Yeah.
All right, so we've been serious for a minute. I wanted to go into some questions that were brought up to 6 Brown Chicks.
Yes.
I do not know the validity of these questions.
Yeah, they
they be in there capping. They be in there capping. Oh yeah.
Because some of the stuff sounds so ridiculous, but
rapid fire 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Boyfriend was a decent guy. We both worked in fast food. He did Uber, but money was tight. A baller came into the restaurant and I dropped everything for him. I dumped my boyfriend. Baller and I spent a weekend together. He mentioned taking me on a cruise. He asked, "Where do you see yourself in a year?" Me? With you. Him? Okay. Well, I like successful women around me. I thought you had your own dreams. He left me stranded at the hotel. Bloop. I did a GoFundMe to get a hotel room, and my ex-boyfriend posted the link on his Facebook, but he didn't donate. He promoted my GoFundMe. Does that mean he still cares about me and may give me another chance? I need him back, but he's not responding. Homeless in Miami.
That's hilarious.
He's a better man than me.
Correct.
I'm not posting a fucking thing.
Correct.
I'd be clowning your goofy ass.
Absolutely.
Illusion.
Yeah, and I'm not even posting a link.
We talked about men having the audacity. Man. Listen, girl, male, female, niggas have the audacity, okay? male, female, short, tall, niggas have the audacity.
That is outrageous. She should be ashamed of herself.
But I ain't gonna hold you. He do want her back though. Not gonna lie to you. He want her back.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Because I'm gonna tell you what he's gonna do. Because I'm gonna listen, man. We gonna keep it a band. You got your boy on here. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's dual. It's he played it respectable, and this is what I mean. He posted it to let her know I noticed you was stuck and I did my part, but he didn't donate and isn't talking to her, so he can be respected in the group chat. Like, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, and that's gonna get you nowhere. Nice guys finish last, they start out first, and they always get passed. Let that dream go, King. Focus on yourself.
No, that's very much giving fresh and fit. Don't do that.
Yes,
don't do that.
Nice, listen, nice guys. Listen, it's been. You can ask anybody I went to undergrad with. That's been the moniker for a long time now. Nice guys finish last. They start out first, and then they always get passed. Focus on yourself, King. Focus on yourself. But that's what he did.
Was more than 10 years ago. It's time to talk to a therapist.
Listen, but the phrase is what the phrase is. I can't help it. It's just like your favorite 90s R&B song. It just gets better with time.
Let it go.
As soon as it's proven, I've let it go, but I'm letting you know it's applicable.
Telling you,
just like letting bad bitches live, it's applicable.
No, nice guys did not finish last. Look at Russell Wilson.
If you let it go, then that wouldn't even come out your mouth. Like
come out your mouth. That's what happened. He want her back. He is a nice guy, but being nice is what if nice guys didn't finish last, she would have told this baller, "Oh, I'm happy where I'm at. Thanks for the invitation."
No,
she just a raggedy ass bitch.
No, she's just a little raggedy, and she might be young, and she might also be young. Let's also talk about that.
No,
she might be young. Fast food.
No. She's young. She's in her very early 20s, and she would never. It's a thing called loyalty.
Let me tell you something.
Her little man, her little boyfriend was brokety broke. I was like, he can't provide you with nothing, so he doesn't have it. He doesn't provide the 3 Fs, so he doesn't have a say so in anything. So that's also reason why she left.
Who's providing? What are the 3 Fs for my reference? I'm new.
Finance, food, and the
fornication.
Fornication. Thank you. Fornication. Thank you. You kept it clean for me. They weren't to that level, so it's like for him to try to impress himself on her so heavily, and he wasn't providing any of the 3 Fs. She was making more. I believe a man should provide. He couldn't provide a umbrella for her, to be perfectly
at 21.
He might be 23, 24.
So is the expectation to be providing at scale versus age, or just general? So at 23, he should have a mortgage.
No. Something of course not. Like something like, hey.
So baby, it's your definition of that is at scale. Like whatever providing is reasonable to a 23-year-old.
Exactly.
Like you weren't telling her to kind of look otherwise because he wasn't 23 with a mortgage.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, I just need some. There are some people that think like that.
No, you got to look at
Yeah.
Based on what he was doing,
sure,
he wasn't. He didn't have the mentality to make more money, which meant he was a loser anyway.
He wasn't projecting.
Yeah, he wasn't. So he can't really provide much now, and the likelihood of him providing in the future was pretty low in as far as I'm concerned, because he just didn't seem like he was upperly mobile. Getting these young kids to do anything nowadays is hard anyway, but he just seemed like he needed that extra push. He was very much giving California surfer guy, surfer dude. I'm going to chill, blah, blah, blah. No, baby, I need you to have some ambition. I need you to have some gumption. I need you to do something. You are still living with your parents. Yes. My baby girl is still living with me as well, but she's on her way to do something. She has a plan in place. This young man, not so much. Kind of, sort of. It was like, I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to do that. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear that, because you, at some point, as a man, because he said it himself, he wants to provide. How are you going to provide if you are sitting at home with your mammy? And so, go ahead, Sheri. Go ahead.
I don't think any of it's that deep. I just think that, they're young. She saw an opportunity to be a basketball wife. And She went in a direction, it didn't work out in her favor, and that's that. She could try to get him back. He doesn't. If he wants her, it'll work. If he doesn't, she's gonna have to move on, and that's that.
You and I both know, and let me not say you and I both know. I find it hard to believe that if he takes her back after that, it'll only be temporary until it happens again. And that's my opinion.
She's gonna do it again.
She's gonna do it again and that's what I mean by. I mean, he is a nice guy, and that's cool, right? Like I said, he posted the link to be able to say, "Hey, I care enough about you to not leave you out there, but I can't be getting roasted in the group chat for posting and donating, right? Oh, you posted the link, man. Me and 100 other people posted the link, bro. Relax. I ain't donate though. You feel me? I ain't put no money on it. That's a respectable approach. It's a win-win. You're not really gonna get cooked up in the group chat for doing it, and you can tell her I posted it for you, but you couldn't have really expected me to donate after what you did. But I wouldn't take her back.
No one.
Yeah.
No. You definitely shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't.
No.
Like no. Sis, and honestly, she shouldn't even ask to go back. Like,
she has no shame. Why would you?
There's also that.
Right.
Yes. There's also that. Because I'm like, girl, you went to try the baller route. It didn't work. This happens. You blew that up. That's your fault. Next story. You blew it.
But you're not going to be able to tell her that she can't get it done again. So she should just live that life. Like,
and he shouldn't take her back because she's a terrible person.
Just live that life. Just pursue the flew out lifestyle.
Let me tell you something. You know who wrote this? A dude that he had his feelings hurt by some little girlfriend that he had a crush on. He wrote this fake scenario. This is not real.
This is a third person account?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a woman ain't never finna take account. Because she ain't a woman's never finna say she want him back and he ain't answering the phone. Anonymous or not, a woman's never finna cop to that.
This is a Tyler Perry plot.
A woman's never finna cop to that. A woman admit that a dude don't want her? Never. No. Anonymous or not. No, I'm with you. A woman ain't never finna tell the internet a dude don't want her. No. No. So I agree with you there.
All right, next scenario. I appreciate nudes as much as the next girl, but there are only so many eggplants photos that I can take. First of all, my husband's eggplant is hideous. It performs well, but I'd rather not look at it. He tries to manscape, but there are razor bumps everywhere. Jeez. Secondly, he takes photos of it dangling in inappropriate places, like laying on a game console, hanging free on a park bench. My husband thinks it's sexy, but the pics are disturbing. I complain, stop sending your ugly eggplant pics. He responded by dressing it up with a little hat. He wrote on his thighs, "Park your lips here." It's the most unsexy thing I've ever seen. I love my husband. I hate his eggplant pics. It drives my cat just thinking about it. Why is my husband trolling me? Is this normal? What to do?
That's funny. Sir, on a park bench, you are a menace. Okay,
you
need to relax. Listen, if that's your game controller, live it up. But
put that thing away.
Listen, sir. Children and old ladies sit on this bench, sir. You need to chill out. Okay, you need to relax. But I will say this: if he's that proud of his manhood, he may have grown up like a lot of us, a lot of men, in an era where early on you experience or run into an experience where how well you are or aren't endowed is highlighted or made fun of early on. So if he's that proud of his manhood, that may be stemming from the fact that he comes from an era where if you weren't blessed, you were made fun of and socially estrewed. So, but I agree, like if it's bothering her, my man, you gotta chill out, bro. Like you gotta relax.
Why would he real? He's trolling her.
Yeah, he's absolutely trolling her. But you gotta once she says it's uncomfortable and you're making her uncomfortable, you gotta relax.
She needs to just ignore it altogether. Don't respond. He's looking for a response.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only reason he's still doing. He's trolling you because he knows it gets under your skin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Stop responding.
But here's the thing: she's saying she tells him it's ugly. Like
There's also
I would think that he would say, you know what, I don't like being told my manhood is unattractive. Maybe
Nah,
I should cease and desist.
not if you a troll. If you are a prankster, if you're a troller, if it's like people who argue in IG comments. It's like, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I'm gonna type this paragraph to prove to a total stranger that my point is valid, more valid than yours. And we all see it. You scroll through. I watch people argue in comments, and I'm like, this is wild. This is wild. So again,
or he's just petty. Like he's
too,
like, you said it was ugly. Yeah. Well, wait a minute, but she was grabbing for me the other night. So what you talking about?
That's not, according to what she wrote. That's not him. I think you were spot on with your first analysis. Is that he's a troll, and the more she said, the more she tells him it's uncomfortable, the more creative he's gonna get with making her uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Stop responding.
Yeah, stop responding.
Or respond with pictures of micro penises.
Yeah, if you want to stop a dude, or threaten to put him on OnlyFans.
Or, hey, or respond with bigger penises.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if y'all heard about
that are prettier.
Yeah, just say, listen, man, this is not what you think it is. I enjoy it. Aesthetically, it's not pleasing. Please cut it out. But you got to start ignoring it.
All right. One more. Gerald proposed after our third date. We've been married for 8 months.
Gerald. Oh, I'm sorry.
Gerald proposed after our third date. Wow.
I seen something very similar to that. We've been married for 8 months. It was too soon. Gerald always smells like baby wipes, and he tastes salty. My husband is grown, fat, 33-year-old man, and his baby scent is off-putting. Gerald said he witnessed his favorite aunt choke to death on ice water. Cold water went down her windpipe, and he's feared water ever since. Gerald's sister claims his aunt was an alcoholic who choked on her gin. Anyway, Gerald avoids water. He won't drink it or bathe in it. I told him to try counseling him. Why do I need counseling? I'd rather wipe my body than wash it. I'm concerned about his health. Why do I need counseling? Because I'd rather wipe my body than wash it. I'm concerned about his health. Also, we spend buku bucks on baby wipes a month. Advice.
I'm not believing
divorce.
But here's the thing, bro.
I would say, is that a no, Mick? Can you get a no?
Here's the thing, bro. So the only way that I can believe that you didn't know he didn't bathe is if you both saved yourself until marriage.
Third date. Remember third date.
But proposed and then got married. How long?
Right. So right. But here's the thing. You smelled that man on the first date.
It was cute then.
Okay, cool. Second date, what's going on? Third date, wait a minute.
Maybe they started dating in the wintertime.
But the thing is, if he doesn't shower, no. The thing is, if he didn't, because you got to think in the winter, people ain't taking those winter clothes to the dry cleaner like that, which means they got the same. They've been sitting in that closet. When they come out, it's the same. No, I don't.
She got to take him out back and hit him with a hose. You got to beat him out.
I don't believe it. Unless you were that pressed to be a wife to where you thought to where you told yourself that that the smell wasn't as bad as you thought it was.
Whoa, the way you backhand.
What do you mean?
Blame it on her.
I did not blame it on her because the man is standing 10 toes down on not showering. The man is standing 10. So he didn't say I showered and then once we started dating, I stopped showering. He was baby wiped out from day one. Which means when he got on a knee and opened that ring up, you smelled the baby wipes then too.
Wait, hold up, man. He wears cologne. You wouldn't smell baby wipes.
Maybe
if the man doesn't shower, there's no way.
Or maybe he knew, you know what? I'm just going to use some bottled water on a washcloth. And I'm going to give myself a
He said, I'd rather wipe myself than wash it. If he doesn't drink water and doesn't bathe, that includes wet wash rags. Because if he used wet wash rags, they wouldn't be burning up bread on baby wipes.
But sis, maybe they saved themselves until marriage. Again, this is another fake letter. Because ain't no way.
Ain't no way. That's what I'm saying.
We didn't know that people was out here not washing their limbs or
That's true.
washing maybe twice a week,
Oh, I knew.
3 times max.
Oh, I
I
knew.
didn't realize, and these are
Oh,
celebrities doing this. I'm
oh,
like,
I
this
knew.
is
Let me tell you
disgusting.
a quick caveat before we go. So I'm an educator by trade. I worked at a middle school from when I was in graduate school, right? They worked, and so they took, it was an all boys private middle school. They took a grade level I was working with on a camping trip for a week. And I was like, okay, cool. So what I have eczema, right? I have to exfoliate, shower frequently. So we're in the planning meeting. There's like we use this third party company that takes kids on field trips. So they're running down all the stuff the kids need, right? If they have allergies, etc. And I'm, first thing I'm looking for is like, okay, are we showering outside? Is it a pay shower? People looked me straight in the face and was like, oh, I mean, there's a creek. Say what now? You're taking 11 and 12-year-olds outside for a week? I was more worried about how the tents would smell than I said, yeah, I'm not going. I said, somebody else can go. I can't. Oh, it's not that bad. We kind of have some canteens you can hang up on the tree. And no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Now my skin won't let me do that. But so I was aware that people weren't out here showering regularly.
But at least water is involved, and you have to actually get into the creek. But the
Sure.
people are literally in the water. They're in the water,
Sure.
and they're just like,
Again,
I'm just going to completely bypass my
but
limbs. My
when I
extremities,
realized
and take care of
what let me know people weren't out here showering like that was the level of comfort to which they spoke about not showering on this camping trip. They didn't speak as if they were going to make the boys get in the creek or like, hey, we have a routine where they get in the creek. It was like the creek is an option should you choose to take it.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? That's what y'all go on these camping trips as a profession, like regularly. Cool. So that's when I knew people didn't shower regularly.
Well, I knew the hygiene aspect was a problem. We've all had work potlucks, and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to bypass.
Cool. Yeah,
Just,
for sure.
I'd rather go hungry than eat anything that Susan cooks.
I'll eat what I brought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll eat what I brought, and I'll eat what the other people look like us brought. Hey, Janae, what'd you bring? You brought okay, cool. Hey, Sheri,
I want to do that.
Look, I'll be checking that Google Doc. Oh, Sheri signed up to bring. Okay, I can eat that. Oh, Lola signed up to bring. Okay, I can eat that, and I'll eat what I bring. There it is. There.
No, I just the lack of hygiene that you see your coworkers have, and then they're the first person to say, "Oh, I volunteered to make all of it." No, you should not, because you're volunteering to give us all E. coli, and that's what you're doing, and that's disgusting.
I mean, Mike's concern is y'all booty's not spicy. It don't itch a little bit when you go that many days without adequately like scrubbing. Like, sir, and you use baby wipes.
Balls are musty.
Like, I don't believe this.
Yeah, the worst part is the trash can where those baby wipes sit. That's the worst part.
I'm thinking a UT. She should have had multiple UTIs.
Also, he don't drink water. Boom.
Some people don't drink water. They just don't drink. There are people out there who refuse to drink water,
and that semen is just acid.
Yeah, that's
it's clumps. It's clumps.
Yeah, that's Hennessy. Yeah, that's a 7-Eleven slushy. Yeah, that's a 7-Eleven slushy, my boy. Your prostate is fighting for its life. You're not drinking no water. Your kidneys and your prostate are fighting for their life, bro. We gotta
thick.
Oh my god.
Disgusting.
You
talk
about she smells. She smelled because of you.
Facts.
You knock her pH off.
Yeah, there's no way you're finna tell, because there's no way, if this man has been only using baby wipes, there is no amount of cologne that's gonna mask that if this is a habit for years.
None.
Unless they make Brillo baby wipes that I'm not aware of. No.
Give me one more letter.
This is a am I
yes.
Yeah,
I love these.
Okay. This one's a little bit long, so follow along. We have a 31-year-old female who has a 3-year-old daughter. She has a 32-year-old husband. Her stepsister, Abby, has a 2-year-old daughter, Lexi. And then her Then Abby's husband, Brad, has his own daughter from a previous relationship. That little girl's named Daisy, whatever. So we are all along with our parents on holiday at a beach resort. 2 days ago in the evening, Abby and Brad asked me if I could babysit Daisy the next day so that they could get some much needed respite, and they wanted to go into town for the day. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Daisy has behavior issues. You can't go more than an hour without her crying and screaming about something. She's extremely territorial. She doesn't seem to have any impulse control, and she never has a nice word to say about anything or anyone. Abby and Brad begged, saying they would ask. They had asked everyone else, but they had plans. I said, be that as it may, I had my own daughter to look after, and I was on my own holiday. I asked why they didn't get a babysitter from the hotel staff, but Brad said leaving Daisy with a babysitter always results in them getting called home early, normally because Daisy has cried so much she makes herself ill. Eventually, they let it go. The day after, I didn't hear from Abby, so I presumed that they found a solution. It was a quiet day, and at about 3 p.m., we returned to our suite. Shortly after we got there was a knock on the door. It was Daisy. She said she was bored and wanted to come in. I asked where her dad was, and it turned out Abby and Brad had gone into town and left Daisy in the room by herself with strict instructions not to go outside. So what did I do? I walked Daisy back to the room as I tried to get a hold of Abby and Brad, but the calls kept getting rejected. I left them several messages. I was so appalled. All I was really thinking about was that they absolutely didn't deserve for me to clean up this mess for them. I took Daisy down to reception and told them that her parents had left her alone in the room, and I found her wandering the place unsupervised.
Call the police.
I left her at reception as they said they would bring her down to the kids club until they could locate Brad. We were all due to meet for dinner at 8:30, and when Brad and Abby arrived, they berated me for reporting them to the hotel. They said Daisy would have been perfectly safe if she'd followed the rules, so they weren't at fault. They also said I would have just let her stay with me until they come back, or I should have let her stay with me until they come back. I said they deserve what they got for doing something pretty harebrained and dangerous, and it wasn't up to me to help them avoid the consequences of their actions. I told Brad he was an irresponsible parent and he should have stayed at the resort. Things are now very tense. Our opinions are split within the family. Am I the asshole for what I did? First edit. I've seen a couple of people saying my family are nuts for thinking what Abby and Brad did was okay. No one thinks that. Parents think I was an asshole for reporting them instead of just keeping Daisy with me. They agree that what Brad and Abby did wasn't right. Edit 2, for everyone wondering where Lexi was, the 2-year-old, Abby and Brad took her out with them. So they have the one child, but they left the other child behind.
How old is Daisy?
Daisy is 8 and apparently a little asshole.
Facts.
So
I'll say this. So my brother has small children, and I told him early in the game, if I can't discipline them the way that I think needs to be applied in the situation, don't ask me to watch them.
Pause one moment. You guys can keep talking. I have to change my battery, but go ahead.
Yeah. So that's just me. But I don't think she's an asshole. I don't think she's an asshole, and I think it was a setup. Because you knew that girl wasn't going to stay in that room.
Yeah.
If she followed instructions, you wouldn't have been begging the entire party. You wouldn't be begging everybody from sunup to sundown to watch her.
That part.
I think.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. I think she kind of is an asshole. Like, why you got to take that girl all the way to the front desk? That was a little bit much. But I also can understand having a badass kid and not wanting to deal with them.
Yeah.
First off, it's not your child, so you can't beat them the way you want to beat them. You can't discipline them the way they want to discipline them. So to have to basically coddle a demon spawn, you know what? I might crack your neck if your parents don't hurry up and get back really quick. So I kind of see both parts of it, but really, I probably would have taken him to the grandparents, yo, take this kid because I'm going to punt her to the moon if she keeps on with me, and then let it be like that, and then you go ahead and cuss out the sister and the brother-in-law. But to take him to the front desk and then drop the little girl off like you don't know who the hell she is,
right?
That's kind of raggedy.
That's raggedy. That's raggedy. That's where she went too far. I agree. Like, as angry as I would be if I was her in that situation, because I get it. I get it. And it would cross my mind. I should leave this girl at reception. I might even text the parents, say, I'm going to leave her at reception. I could do this, but I'm not going to take out my anger at the parents on that child.
So what I think is, like I said before, I would have not taken her to reception because I have confidence in my ability to navigate a child. But the reason I don't think she is an asshole is because I don't know if she has that same skill set. It takes a special skill set to navigate working with kids. Maybe the grandparents were around. I wouldn't have got stuck watching her. I would have took her somewhere. I'm liable to go into town and look for the parents and pull up wherever you at. Oh, y'all having a nice little dinner? Boom. And I'm ordering food on y'all tab. And before I get out of here.
On the flip side, I wonder how great a caregiver this woman is anyway, because it sounded like she was the last choice.
Right. Yeah. So
they went through everybody else.
Yeah. And she said they asked everybody else and everybody else said no. And that's how they landed on her. So
I mean, it could have been that they already knew that she was going to say no anyway.
Could be that too.
Right. And I mean, for all we know, how do we know the instruction where if you find yourself needing anything, go knock on room such and such?
Right.
I mean, like I said, I don't think she's the asshole for taking her to reception because, as they say, when they go low, go to the flow.
See,
you feel
not,
me?
Not with the child being involved.
But here's the thing. This is your child, right?
I get it.
If you are a couple, because the thing, what it sounds to me like is, if you knew that she was going to be, if it was going to take extra planning to have her, I would like to think that you might have tried to leave her. Okay, let's say, or you could be a set of those parents. I want my kids to have all the experience I never had. I'm taking them everywhere. Cool. With you then are responsible. It's your child. If you can't find somebody to watch your child, then don't leave. Then you're not going on no separate dinner.
We're not disputing that at all.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not in dispute at all. Parents were absolutely fucked up in this scenario.
Yeah, I don't think she's an asshole though, because I'm for the childish. I'm for the petty. So
okay, fair.
I'm for the petty. I wouldn't have done it. Like I said, I would not have done it. I would have probably had the child ran the child into the ground. Right? Okay, cool. You an 8-year-old? You think you tough? We can break that. I got something for it. Listen, we got something for that. But I don't think she's an asshole though, because I'm for the petty. So
no, she's an asshole.
She's definitely an asshole.
She's an asshole. She's an asshole. She said
the parents are also, but yes, she's for the simple fact that child is family. You can't do that, and the child is 8. That's
she did say that was her stepsister. I'm just saying.
No. It's the stepsister, and it's a baby by somebody else's.
So it's not. It's not her niece. It's her niece by marriage.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
I get it. I do. I get it. I understand.
Sure.
The desire to be petty.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a child. I'm not gonna put any level of. I'm not going to contribute to a child's abandonment because that's basically what happened.
She basically left that child on somebody's.
Left that baby for dead.
Was it worse than what the parents did?
The parents are raggedy as hell. Like
was it worse than what the parents did?
You know your child. You definitely could have just given that child to the actual biological mother for the weekend and
right.
We can trade weekends because I can't deal with it. But this is the point, and it's your baby. You know your baby's a handful. It's to the point where people don't want to deal with her. Either she has behavioral issues and you need to get her some therapy, or you're not disciplining her, and which is I'm thinking probably is part of the problem. It's a lack of discipline, so she thinks she can get away. That's why she's doing all this crying, all this BS. Right. And so now you've created a monster. Now you don't want to deal with it. No, that's your problem, partner. Yeah. You got to deal with that.
And all of it.
The whole family's a sack of assholes. That's just what it is. It's just a whole sack of assholes.
We need to
they are all,
that might be on the spectrum or might have some other developmental issues.
And if that's the case, you need
I'm
to be
not
flying with
gonna
an
dump
aid.
that baby with strangers.
Right. The thing is, if your child has behavioral issues and needs extra care, you need to be traveling with the aid.
We with all of that, no dispute. But
where we part ways is on the I'm with you. I don't think she's the asshole.
Is OP the asshole? Yes.
Yes. Yes. She said the parents are, the grandparents are, they all are.
Everybody. That poor child. Poor
baby. That's funny. That's funny. Good scenarios.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not gonna keep y'all on. I appreciate you coming on for the inaugural episode of season 2. I hope to see you back again. It was such a nice and lovely time, intellectual conversation with just a touch of a little touch of something. Just a smidge. So thank y'all for tuning in for this episode. We'll come back, I don't know, next week, the week after that, for the following episode. We'll see you then. Y'all be good. Okay, bye-bye, y'all. Thanks so much for joining us for part 2. Come back next week and we'll continue to entertain you. Have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Peace, peace.